My name is Grace. I get to head up a lot of our influencer collaborations with AKA, all of our clients. I'm really excited to talk about this because I'm quite passionate about it. Coming from the creator world myself, I know how it feels to experience these opportunities as a creator, but also how to execute them as a marketer. So we'll just get straight into it. Oh, I love clickers. Okay. So this is our agenda. What is influence marketing in general? What is actually trending? Let's talk about some myths that I love busting. Who remembers that show? And then influencer networks, how those feel and they look like, and then hopefully we'll have a moment for some questions. So what is influence marketing, right? There are so many different types of influencers. It's not just this one thing anymore. There are different people that have different followings. There are nano influencers now, so anyone that has lower than 10,000 followers is having an impact and influence in some marketer capacity. There's also micro influencers. There's macro influencers, which are the ones that are most commonly associated with who is actually influencing content creators. Those are the people that you probably normally say, that's an influencer if that person has like 1 million followers, right? And they're getting quite a good range of costs for their work. But what's actually trending? You know, I was talking to my mother the other day. I'll bring her up a lot. And 15 years ago, she was just on Facebook and she saw a post from a guy that said, you should try to go see the Book of Mormon. I just saw the Out of Town. And then in 2 weeks, we were in New York City seeing the previews. And I said, oh my God, what is this? Now, before she comes to visit New York City, I'm just sending her a TikTok about the thing that I want to take her to do. You know, it's just vacillated so much over the years. But TikTok and Instagram are becoming a younger search engine these days. It's where a lot of people are going to look up recipes, what to do in NYC. All of those great attractions are trending through these platforms. And with that, today's winning influencer formula is going to look like authenticity. It's earnest information. It's what our concierges were talking about earlier. My favorite thing is that there is not one singular age that does not like to be told what to do. Everyone likes a personal recommendation. They do. So if they're going to a concierge or they're going to their TikTok or they're going to their Instagram, they want to know that a human person enjoyed something. They want to see that human connection. And I think these two things kind of work hand in hand. Let's talk about these little myths. Here's a bunch of them. We're just going to do it. So the other day I was talking to a client and they said, I kid you not, I shouldn't be quoting them, but here we are. Aren't influencers just people that tell me what face cream to buy and what Botox to use with blown up lips? And I said, first of all, preventative Botox is important. Second of all, it's not just that. It's really not. Influencers don't have to have millions of followers. Nano and micro influencers have a major impact. If somebody that you trust is talking about something online and you come across it, you are more likely to engage in that, right? Influencers are all 25-year-olds. They're not. They're really not. That's not the truth, Ellen. Like, they really do have range. I've worked with influencers and creators that are 60 years old, but their audience base is in their 40s. You know, it's not just that the person that's making the content is their direct audience. We get to see all of these different audience demographics per person. Sometimes there are family and kid influencers that have an impact on people that are anywhere from 14 years old to 48 years old on recommendations of where to go and what to see and what to do. Another thing is that influencers, people think that they cost a lot of money. Oh, I just assume that it's going to cost me a fortune out of my budget. There's no way that I could make it happen. I'm just going to stick to my traditional media. And it's not true. Influencers do not need to break your budget. They should just be kind of casually rolled into your paid media mix. Influencers' content could risk something for your brand. You know, a lot of people have boards to answer to. A lot of people have like conditional things where they say, this is not something that we would ever post on our personal page. Well, that is why it is so exciting to work with a content creator. While it's not something that you might want to communicate on your brand page, it might be something that you want people to be saying in market, and that's where you can employ an influencer. With the right management, you can have agreements, contracts, voice memos, all of these things. They can help your brand actually resonate with their audiences. Another myth is that influencers are for organic social only. Nuh-uh. Influencer impact should also be a part of your paid media plan. This is how that can be looked at. So influencers, I can't actually track it, right? People say it's like kind of the new wave of a billboard. You can't actually see if that's acquiring a customer, right? But the truth is that influencers' contributions are easily trackable in a huge array of ways, right? There is an example where we worked with a creator that had 8,000 followers at the time. And then at the same time in a campaign, we worked with a content creator that had 2 million followers. We paid them the same amount of money. This person, the 10,000 or 8,000 follower person, gave us 10 posts. The other gave us 1. The view count and the ROI was so different because the more people saw it on this person's page with the 8,000 followers, we had $10,000 in ticket sales just from that alone versus the other that yielded 0. Yeah, I know, it's tough. Inviting influencers is enough. You're thinking, oh, if I build it, they will come. The Field of Dreams model will work for us. If we just get them to be in the space, they will make content for us. Raise your hand if you have ever had a digital marketer or a link screens person at an event and thought, where are my link screens the next day? It's not true. It's their bread and butter. It's their life, right? Only 30% of influencers who are gifted an opportunity or something of that nature or invited actually post without any fees. This is a billion-dollar market at this point in the US. 54% of Gen Z has written on their application somewhere that they would one day aspire to be a content creator or influencer. It is a growing market. It is people's lifeblood. It is their full-time job. We have to find ways to support that because it's not going away. It's growing and getting even bigger, even if TikTok goes away, God forbid. So what do influencer networks actually look like? This is a platform that we helped create because as a creator myself, frankly, I found myself kind of working in a silo and I got to meet all of these great creators at other events that I was gifted to. And it was so funny that we all found that we had this community, but there wasn't one place to actually put it. This is a social media account and a group of people that have been consistently contracted across a bunch of different clients, but the account grew just because people and other creators were looking for things to go do. You know, we have executed campaigns across several different clients, but they all look vastly different. Some are like humor, they're doing a dance. Some people are taking you on the historic inside look. Content is so wide and exciting now. It is not just a, here's what I did in NYC. Like it's actually like so much bigger than that, even though that could have been a video. Here's an example of a creator profile where you're kind of looking at their audience demographics based on, who are you trying to target the next month? What's another tentpole moment that you want to look at? You can get granular and start to see with the right data management. You can see even with, and this is Charlene, she's a real person. I recommend following her because she's really adorable. But she's great to work with. And she's averaging 2K per post, but with that follower count. And that might be surprising to you, but because of her engagement rate, which a benchmark of engagement is around 2%, she does really well with it. So these are all these myths that we've just covered. I hope I didn't talk too quickly, but I did want to get to some questions. Thank you for sitting through all of them. Yes.
Thank you so much. Excellent information and very insightful. I have a question about the social listening samples that you've been using and maybe you would recommend also.
She was asking about social listening platforms. The majority of this work is through, we're looking at audience engagement. We're looking at, we utilize a platform called Grin where we're able to see and track like, oh, okay, this many people clicked on their link in bio if we had, a ticket engagement with that particular, content creator. We're also looking at, that's mainly on like our data management and social side. But primarily we're looking at things like Grin, Sprout, things like that. Yeah. My handle, it's at Grace Aki. That's me. But also please follow the Arts Insider. Even if like 10 of you did, that would really boost my ego. But also you're able to see, a wide range of content. And I think that to me is the most exciting part of this whole journey is that it's not this one idea. We were brought with a task of how do we communicate the story of this particular neighborhood around a show. There was so much historical data and information around it. And we contacted this historical influencer that primarily makes did you know content about New York City? And then people said, I never would have thought about that. I didn't even know that this person, the star of the show, grew up there. I can't wait to go see it when I'm in New York. I mean, we can see it in the comments. Like people are very transparent. They get excited and they also click save. And the other thing is that when they're sharing it, we're able to see that, that little arrow, especially on Instagram where something's sent out to their stories or whatever. We can't always track who all saw it, but if 140 people shared it to their followings, it just grows and grows and grows.
I know it's early days, but are you all tracking or seeing any trends emerging on Blue Sky?
Trends emerging on Blue Sky. You know, we don't work currently with any content creators that are making content specifically for Blue Sky. We do see people linking their content elsewhere. So people are utilizing Threads to say, hey, I just posted this video about this Broadway show. Go check it out because it's linked in their Instagram already. But some people link their content through Blue Sky because I've seen a lot of creators start to do that as well. Yeah.
If TikTok does go away,
Yeah, it's frankly, no, it is through Instagram Reels and whatnot because Meta has so many ad targeting opportunities. You know, we're able to utilize that platform through Facebook and everything. And the way that the video, they're trying to up their game. You know what I mean? People are obviously very scared that there's a potential for that. So right now in real time, I'm seeing like weekly updates from creators and the Meta platform and our communications with Meta specifically on, hey, we're trying to push trial reels. Has anyone heard of trial reels? Can I talk about that for 2 seconds? Do I have time for that? So this is something that's being put out to a lot of content creators currently, where if you're familiar with Instagram Reels, that's the video format. Sometimes you can go just to see reels from people that you don't even follow. And you can look at all of that. And right now, you only primarily see reels from people that you already follow. Instagram and Meta are rolling out this campaign currently for the past 2 weeks where they're encouraging content creators to post to trial reels that will only export their content to non-followers. People are experiencing 10% growth in their follower count because it's pushing their content out to people that don't already follow them. So we have been encouraging for the past week and a half that we've learned about this for people to first post on trial reels, their content that we have in our paid advertising, and then putting that back onto their profiles because there's an option for them to do that just to see how it's actually working. But that is the fun part of all of this is that it changes every week. So yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
So when the online to go, I just followed the art.
Oh, great, thank you. It's in one platform. Yeah.
Can you go backwards so we can get that?
Oh, sure. It's changed. We're at 2,500 now, but.
support them.
Yeah. Thank you all so much
you,
for your
Grace.
time. Thank you.